Work health and safety law in New South Wales is black and white. Councillors are workers, the chamber is a workplace, and the presiding officer in the chamber, Trish, is legally responsible for keeping it safe. Well, from watching videos of proceedings, you know she is doing a very ordinary job of that. So bad, in fact, we have had one councillor resign over it being a toxic workplace. What did SIG do about it? Not fix it. They set up a rubbish motion to say all is fine. And Proudfoot has the gall to suggest that the councillor, who was a very senior military officer, worked for her country, and was Australia's first Navy pilot, as a female somehow could not hack being in a room full of rude idiots. Well, there you go, Bob. Great job. So, when Patricia White says councillors aren't covered by work health and safety, she's not just wrong. She's ignoring the law she's supposed to uphold. Now let's open Notebook LM and see the evidence for ourselves.
So what happens when a public official, someone in charge of running a whole city council, makes a statement about the law that just sounds completely off? Well, today we're diving into a pretty wild case where a mayor's words went head-to-head with what's actually written in the law books. Let's get right into it. All right, so this is the quote that kicked everything off. In an interview about a safe work investigation into the council, Mayor Patricia White of Shoalhaven Council said this. A very clear, very confident statement. She's basically saying that councillors just aren't covered by workplace safety laws. And that, right there, is the big question we're here to answer. Is she right? Is a council chamber somehow not a workplace? Are the people we elect to represent us just on their own, with no legal protections? To figure this out, we've got to go straight to the source. To really get to the bottom of this, we can't just go by what someone says in an interview. No, we have to look at the actual legislation. So let's break down the Work Health and Safety Act of 2011. Okay, first things first, we need to get our heads around this key legal term, PCBU. It stands for a person conducting a business or undertaking. And under this law, a local council is, without a doubt, defined as a PCBU. This is super important. It's the foundation for everything else. And when we actually dig into the Act, it lays everything out so clearly it's kind of shocking. Section 7, it flat out includes councillors in the definition of workers. Section 19, it puts a primary duty of care on the council, the PCBU, to make sure those workers are safe. And then there's Section 27, which says that officers, and yeah, that includes the mayor, have to do their due diligence to make sure the council follows these rules. So the most important point here is that there's no wiggle room. The law doesn't leave this open for debate. It's all there in black and white. The protections are spelled out. Okay, so we've established the general law is crystal clear, but how does it apply specifically to the mayor? The person who's actually chairing the meetings where all this work gets done. Well, as the chair of those council meetings, the mayor has some very specific jobs. They're not just another person at the table. They are legally required to maintain order and to stop disorderly conduct. That means if things get nasty, if there's bullying, harassment, or intimidation, the mayor has a direct responsibility to shut it down. And here's where it all connects. That duty to maintain order isn't just about keeping meetings polite. It's directly tied to the legal duty to provide a safe workplace. So failing to stop bullying isn't just bad form, it's a potential breach of the mayor's own legal duties under the Work Health and Safety Act. So let's just put it all side by side for a second. On one side, you've got the mayor's claim. On the other, the undisputed reality of the law. I mean, the contrast couldn't be more obvious. It's a complete contradiction. And this whole situation, it makes you ask a much bigger question. When a leader is so wrong about their fundamental legal duties, what does that tell you about the culture of the whole organization? And check this out for some crucial context. Mayor White isn't a rookie here. She's been on the council since 2012. We're talking more than a decade in that job. So to still not be aware of these basic protections after all that time is, well, as the source material calls it, astonishing ignorance. You see, this isn't just about one person's blind spot. When the leader at the very top doesn't know or enforce the rules, it basically sends a message to everyone else that the rules don't matter. It creates a space where bad behavior, like bullying, can just fester, leaving people totally exposed. That's not leadership, that's negligence. So what's the big deal? Why are we focusing so much on this one incident? It might seem like just a local political squabble, but the principle behind it is universal, and it is incredibly important. Let's just run through the undeniable facts one more time. The council chamber? It's a workplace. The councillors? They're workers. The mayor? An officer with specific legal duties. And the law? It is crystal clear. These aren't opinions, they're just legal facts. I mean, think about it like this. We expect every single business, every coffee shop, every office, every construction site to keep their employees safe. It's just a basic expectation. So why on earth would the people we elect to run our communities be held to a lower standard? They absolutely shouldn't be an exception. And that really leaves us with this final thought. This whole case shines a huge spotlight on an issue that goes way beyond just one town. It makes us ask, what are the consequences when our leaders just don't know or don't fulfill their most basic legal and ethical responsibilities? It's a question about accountability, about safety, and really about the integrity of public service itself.
And there it is, in plain language, councillors are covered. If Trish doesn't understand that, she's failing her duty as chair. Again, after watching her closely, I have come to the conclusion she is not a very smart person. Cunning, yes. Smart and capable. Well, no. In my opinion, Shoalhaven deserves a chair who knows the law, cares for the safety and dignity of the chamber, and actually follows the law and good governance.